Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We just got some breaking news this morning, courtesy of Modern Warzone leaker, known for some inside information here with the FPS space. He's actually previously talked a lot about some inside info for the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale, which is stuff that did end up being accurate now that we've seen the larger reveals for it. And as of this morning, Modern Warzone posted some very surprising news about the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale. This is the tweet as of this morning that they sent out. Sources: Battlefield 6 Battle Royale is currently planned to launch on October 28th, just 18 days after the launch of the game. Now, this date is subject to change as always, especially with the Battle Royale currently in testing in Battlefield Labs, but I've heard that is the current plan for launch. There is a lot to break down with this, because this is major news for, quite frankly, a multitude of reasons. For one, you throw back to the original leaks that we had with the Battlefield 6 Battle Royale. The initial rumors all said that it was going to be coming post-launch, but the plan was presumably months after post-launch. So we heard that October 10th release date for the premium title. We assumed, okay, so Battle Royale maybe late December, maybe early January, late January. That'd probably be a time that would line up nicely. That gives launch time to breathe. They can sort out any potential launch issues. They can continue testing Battle Royale in labs. This kind of flips the script entirely. 2.5 weeks, just under 3 weeks post-launch, the Battle Royale drops. That's absolutely huge, as I mentioned. So this puts pressure on kind of everyone, actually, if this comes to fruition. Keep in mind, this is still just a leak. This is inside information as of right now. So it absolutely could change. You know, if Labs is going with this and they start to detail some issues here and there, they start to realize, okay, maybe we could fine tune this more. Maybe we need more time to cook this up and really perfect this. Okay, maybe it gets pushed back some, but the initial target, 18 days post-launch. Looking specifically just at Battlefield here, this means that Premium is gonna be in the spotlight for a shorter amount of time. You want to have multiplayer thrive, which based off of everything that we've seen so far, it should, based off the beta, based off everything, multiplayer and even the campaign should thrive and should fill up that spotlight quite nicely. You're only given it 2.5 weeks of life until the spotlight shifts. Now, that's not to say once Battle Royale comes out, multiplayer is just gone. It's not going to have any focus, any attention. That's not going to be the case whatsoever. Ripple Effect is solely focused on, doing the Battle Royale stuff here. You have DICE, you have the main components focused on multiplayer as well. So that's not a concern there that it's going to be completely overshadowed. But the public spotlight, the marketing spotlight, announcements, everything like that is heavily going to shift towards this free-to-play Battle Royale just 2+ weeks after launch. So sort of pushing this all together, kind of clumping it together all for October is a little bit surprising to me, because I quite frankly, just based off the beta even, I feel like Battlefield 6 multiplayer should have time to thrive. And especially as we compare some stuff to COD here, because now COD might be sweating a little bit. They were really going to have a month or so to thrive in the spotlight before Black Ops 7 released, and for that first month, all that focus being on Battlefield 6 multiplayer, that should be a month where Battlefield dominates, where the retention is there, the player count is there. They don't necessarily need to drop a Battle Royale there. I was almost initially wondering if they were going to save it for a rainy day when it's like, okay, we're into the first season update for Battlefield 6. Yeah, maybe the player base is sort of plateaued a little bit, or maybe there's a bit of a drop off there. Let's drop the Battle Royale. You have this huge resurgence of players, this huge spike in players, new and old, and now you're back on top of the charts, and you're back on top of marketing, and you're back on top of what everybody's talking about, right? But instead, they're kind of clumping it together. So this could almost backfire a little bit for Battlefield here. It could also just surge their player numbers even more. If they're still riding the hype of launch with multiplayer and campaign, and then they drop the Battle Royale free to play, they just surge even further. So could be very good. Could also, sort of inflict some self wounds there in a sense there if there is too much overshadowing done by the Battle Royale. But it's not just Battlefield now who this has put a lot of pressure on. It also puts a ton of pressure on Call of Duty. You may recall this leak from a few days back from the Ghost of Hope saying, very big grain of salt, Black Ops 7 may move up its release date. November 14th being, I think, tied for the latest release ever. This was already a hot topic, and now you have Battlefield completely undercutting Call of Duty here, launching the premium game before Black Ops 7. That's going to get a ton of sales because of that. That's going to get a lot of players hooked on Battlefield before Black Ops 7 drops. And you now have the Battle Royale potentially dropping before Black Ops 7. All of the hype, all of the focus in the FPS space is going to be on Battlefield. And I'm sure Call of Duty is looking at this, potentially getting word of this going, oh, brother, you know why they're doing this, right? And it may work. It actually might really stress COD a lot here for their launch. And even more so, dropping the Battle Royale before we see Season 1 of Call of Duty, which should probably happen in early December. That's when the Warzone integration, the Warzone update for Black Ops 7 will be taking place. You're now putting even more pressure on that as well. So the cards here all fall in favor of Battlefield. Now, it is risky. Like I said, there could be a situation where, yeah, it does kind of split the player base too much off launch, and it does sort of overwhelm multiplayer a little bit there. But also, in terms of winning the FPS battle right now, which again, as I've discussed previously, it only matters for executives what game actually wins. We just want the games to be good on both fronts, right? We want better games across the board. This competition is going to drive that. But this is going to force Call of Duty to really knock it out of the park. And Battlefield is going all in, trying to force as much pressure there as they can. Also, though, not the only interesting Battle Royale details we've gotten recently. Just to close things out here briefly, we did also get some more details from David Serland, lead producer and executive over at DICE there, getting asked about completely destroying buildings in Battle Royale, whereas in multiplayer, there's limited destruction in a sense where you can't completely just erase a building from existing. You can topple a lot of it, but there will still be certain structures in place. To this, David responds and says, it's actually the exact same systems, still leaving designed aftermath rubble here. So multiplayer and Battle Royale, while they are played in different places, it is going to be the same basic destruction system across the board here. So it's not like in Battle Royale you can just completely obliterate a building and it's never going to, exist there anymore. There'll still be certain remnants of it, just like in multiplayer if it's like a similar building design. It heavily depends on the type of house and materials. Just destroying everything is not a good idea, and we know this. It's not hard to do that either. In fact, what we're doing is much harder to get readable, and it's playing great. Have you been to SoCal? All the houses are made of plywood with plaster to make it look like stone. Of course, this is reflected in our destruction too, and that makes a lot of sense there. So an interesting bit of additional details here in regards to the Battle Royale. Destruction will be just like multiplayer, and we could be getting our hands on the official build of it way earlier than I think any of us actually anticipated. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on this. Again, still just a leak for now, but we'll have to see what evolves. Does Battlefield officially confirm this? Do they have a surprise up their sleeve that they'll be announcing soon? Obviously, anything official I'll be covering here in the future, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed this video, a like rating on your way out would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.